Hey everybody, sorry I look like this. I've been walking dogs all day, so I'm a little tired, but it's worth it. This is my cat. She just decided to come chill with me while I made this video, and I didn't say no, so yeah. I've been meaning to make another video for a long time, but I didn't have any inspiration, and I didn't know what to talk about. I feel like my life is really boring. But when my boyfriend Shane and I were Skyping last night, he told me that I should make a video about what it's like to date a trans man. So I was like, okay, yeah, it's an interesting topic. I can talk about that. I thought it'd be really funny if, I made the title of the video like, what it's like to date a trans man, and then made like a 5-second clip saying like, it's just like dating a cis man. Just stopping it, but it's not exactly like dating a cisgendered man. That's not a bad thing. It's pretty close though to dating a cisgendered man. There's just really just like two things that I can think of that are different that I wouldn't do or encounter if I was dating a cisgendered man. The first thing that I feel is different is how much education I felt like I had to acquire. And it wasn't a bad thing, and it's not like Shane forced me or anything. Like, he handed me a stack of books and was like, okay, I'll go read these articles and we'll talk about them in a week. No, it wasn't like that. I did it on my own. He actually didn't even know that I did any research until last night when I mentioned it. But I was already like pretty knowledgeable on transsexuality before me and Shane started dating. But I definitely didn't know as much as I wanted to. I've been a big supporter of the LGBT community for quite a while now. But I've always focused more on the L and the G than the B or the T. But that's because I have a lot of lesbian and gay family members and friends. So I didn't have a transgender person in my life before Shane. So I kind of went from not even knowing a transgender person to a transgender person becoming the most important person in my life. So it wasn't like a huge change, but it was a big enough one that I thought, okay, I need to do some research. I need to read things. I need to watch things. I need to understand it as much as I possibly can, being a cisgendered female. So I read a lot online, different things. I actually did a lot of research using Shane himself. He has a YouTube channel, which I think I've mentioned, where he talks a lot about the struggles and what it's like to be a trans man. So I watched a lot of his videos, and I still do. I haven't watched all of them yet. I'm still learning every day from him and from other people. And I also checked out the trans community on Tumblr. There's actually a really big community, and I learned a lot of valuable things, I think, through Tumblr. I like I said, I'm still learning every day, you know. I still sometimes do or say offensive things, and then catch myself and be like, oh my gosh, babe, I'm so sorry. That was awful of me. And luckily he was very understanding and doesn't get angry with me, just kind of corrects me, which I appreciate. Although I wouldn't mind if he got mad, you know. So I guess the other thing I did was, I guess it kind of ties into the whole knowledge and research thing. I kind of had to learn how to just help as much as I can and be supportive of the body dysphoria. It was something I hadn't dealt before dealt with before, because everyone in my life is cisgendered, so, of course, body dysphoria can happen with cisgendered people. I think it's just more of I think it's different when it's a trans person feeling body dysphoria than a cis person. But I didn't feel... What are you doing? Cats are so weird. Anyways, I didn't feel confident that I could provide a good enough explanation of body dysphoria on my own, so I looked it up. I'm getting this definition from American Trans Man. They describe body dysphoria as the incongruity between what the brain expects the body to be versus how the body is actually configured. So you can see how that can come into play with trans people, because they want their body to be one thing, and it isn't what they want it to be. So of course, they go through things to fix that. They have surgery, they have hormone replacements, etc., etc. But it's still a thing that Shane deals with. And I kind of, before I really did more research on it, I kind of went into it like I would any other problem. I first was just, very supportive and let him know that it wasn't a problem for me, that his body wasn't what he wanted it to be. And don't do that. There's a door over here that you can exit through. Okay? Let's not have cats someday, okay, babe? Anyways, I just tried telling him, I love you just the way you are. I accept you just the way you are, and you're perfect just the way you are. I wouldn't want to change anything. And, I don't really know how much that helped. I hope it helped some, but, when that didn't work all the way, I kind of tried going towards, alright, well, we have a problem, let's try to find a solution. We can do this, we can do that, we can do this, I give him a whole list of possibilities, but I eventually had to come to the conclusion that nothing is going to fix body dysphoria. Nothing that I do is going to completely take away how he feels. And that was really heartbreaking for me. After doing everything I can, I kind of transitioned into the crying in the corner in the fetal position, saying I love you over and over again. I'm sorry. I wish I could help you. I wish I could take it away, but I can't. I just can't. It's just not something that I can do. And I'm still having a hard time accepting that. But I think I've just come to the conclusion that I need to just be as supportive as I possibly can be. Love him the best that I can. Reassure him the best that I can. I think I'm doing a pretty good job, but I guess I could be wrong. Dating a trans guy is a lot less different than people think it is, I think. I dated someone who identified as a cisgendered male in the past, now identifies as a trans female, but did identify as a cisgendered male when I was dating her. I'm going to use the preferred pronouns, but just so no one gets confused, she was identifying as a cisgendered male when we were dating. And I don't act any different with Shane than I did with my past relationship. Really it's just educating yourself on what your partner is going through. But I think you should do that with anything. I think if you're dating someone who has some sort of disability or disorder or has something different about them, if their sexuality or their gender identity is different than what you're used to, just research it. Become an expert on your partner. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's really what I'm trying to do. Because I feel like it's my obligation to understand him the very best that I can. Because that's a big part of him. And I don't want to make it out to be bigger than it is. Because I know I tend to do that. But, it's a part of him that I feel like I need to understand. And I need to support. And in order to support it, I need to understand it. So, that's really the only thing I could think to talk about. Even though I talked about it for 11 minutes. Holy shit. That was going to be a short video. Oh, yeah. One other thing I wanted to say. I've had a lot of mixed reactions to dating a trans man, by, like, my family and my friends, and even some just, like, random strangers on Tumblr. And I think the most common thing that I've been asked, or that people try to talk to me about, is me and Shane's sex life, or future sex life, since we're 8,000 miles away from each other. And it confuses me, because would you just, like, would you go up to somebody who is dating a cisgender male and ask them about their sex life? Probably not, because it's rude. And I have people trying to make assumptions on what my sexuality is, based on the fact that I'm dating a trans man. And it's offensive. I'm the only one who can know what my sexuality is. And me dating a trans man does not make me a lesbian or bisexual or any less heterosexual than how I identified before. And I don't think people understand that he is a man. He identifies as a man. He lives as a man. So therefore, every bit of him is man. He's a man. I'm in love with a wonderful man. And I understand that for some people it's hard to wrap your head around that. But, I mean, there are ways to be curious without being offensive. Never, ever misgender them. Use the wrong pronouns purposefully just because you don't feel comfortable using their preferred pronouns. That's an asshole move. Try not to ask too personal of questions, especially when it comes to, like, sexual stuff. That's just... I don't like being asked stuff like that. I really don't. Normally I'm pretty open about sexual things, but when it comes to me and my boyfriend, like, if I want to share it with you, I will. Chances are I don't, but if I want to, I will. You don't need to ask me about it, because I'll just get angry. I think just the important thing to remember, like I said before, is that I'm dating a man. Period. And you don't have the right to make assumptions about either of us based on his gender identity. I think that's the best way that I can put it. Just be respectful and try to be understanding and accepting. I think that's one of the most important things when it comes to any sort of person, really. I think that's all I have to say. Maybe there was something else, but I'm going on 15 minutes, so... If you have any questions that aren't about our sex life, you can always feel free to contact me, of course. I mean, I love answering questions, and I love sending people to Shane to talk about him being a trans man, because I think it's important to ask questions about it and understand it as best as you can. So I'm going to leave my Tumblr down there like I always do. And I'll leave Shane's YouTube channel information too, if you want to go check out his videos. They're really awesome. You totally should. Much more organized than mine. He doesn't just ramble on for 15 minutes. He actually has like a... He knows what he's going to say and what he's going to talk about. So yeah. I made this video for you, Shane, so I hope you like it. I hope I didn't say anything offensive or stupid like I tend to do. But just keep in mind that I love you, and I accept you wholeheartedly, all of you, everything you are is exactly what I want and what I need. That's why I'm dating you. And yeah. I guess that's it. Bye, guys.